Hey guys, I have my 2-year Invisalign update to share with you today, so I'm going to share kind of like before and after pictures. My original treatment is done. It was 2 years and I had a total of 50 trays. So I finished out my 50 trays. It ended August 1st, and so that was my 2 years of wearing Invisalign, and now I'm starting refinements. And so I just had my appointment last week and there was a big change, and so I just wanted to share that with you, kind of like update you guys. So if you're thinking about doing this process, you know, just certain things to be aware of that can come up during the process. So last month I found out I was going to be having refinements, and I expected that, and that is how most cases go. You usually do have to do some refinements after the original treatment. So I expected to go through refinements because I knew my teeth weren't completely done yet, and I didn't know how many trays I was going to be having in refinements though. Sometimes you can do multiple sets of refinements too. So the end of last month they rescanned my teeth and they sent that into Invisalign and got my refinements in just last week. So I finally got to go down last week to my orthodontist appointment, and that was the first time that I was getting to see how many trays I was going to have in this set of refinements. So I went down there to my appointment last week, and I'm sitting there in the orthodontist chair, and the assistant brings in my box and sets it down of all my trays. They only give you a few at a time, but they sit down the entire box, so I got to see the number of how many I was going to be going through, and I was just kind of in disbelief. I was like sitting there in silence, like just blinking, just in silence, like looking at the number, trying to comprehend if that was correct or not. And as it turns out, I have 27 more trays to go in this set of refinements. And being that my original treatment was 50 trays, that's a little over half of what I already did. And so I was trying to, like, you know, let it soak in, because I was not expecting that at all. I wasn't expecting it to go that much longer. So that's another year of Invisalign. That's a total of 3 years of treatment. So it took me a little bit just to kind of like, okay, we had some plans. Those are gonna have to, you know, the timeline has changed of our plans. We were actually planning on moving. I've mentioned that to you guys on here several times. We were really excited to move later this year, we were thinking like winter time. But as it turns out, that is not going to be happening, because if I switch orthodontists midway through, I have to pay again, and I'm already paid up. So it doesn't matter how long my treatment lasts out here, like refinements and everything were already included in the price that I've already paid my orthodontist. So I'm not going to switch midstream, you know, switch horses midstream and then you got to pay again to that orthodontist. So if I didn't have to pay again, I wouldn't think twice about switching orthodontists, but I don't want to spend any more money because it cost me $8,000 to do this treatment, and that's where I draw the line. Like, that's it. Like, I'm not going to pay any more money for this. It's definitely been worth it, and I'm very happy with how the results are going so far, and I will go ahead and show you guys the before and up-to-date pictures right now. So now that it's been a full 2 years of wearing Invisalign, I can definitely say that I'm really happy with the choice that I made to finally get my teeth straightened out, and it feels good. Like, it feels, you know, aside from just the crossbite and being able to chew my food properly now, it just feels good to finally be able to smile and not be thinking about my fang, you know, that I had there. You know, I still have a little bit of it there, but it's getting fixed. So, you know, slowly straightening out. It's a long process. They said that if I continue wearing my trays really well, that they will cut down on the time. They'll maybe cut it down to being able to switch these out every 10 days instead of every 2 weeks, how the original treatment trays were. So hopefully I can do that and cut down on that amount of time that I have left to go through them. But it's okay. I feel really confident and really good about, you know, so far the treatment and the process and everything. Oh, that's something else that changed too, is for a while there, if you guys saw my last Invisalign update, I did have a rubber band on one side, an elastic. So just last week they did remove that button that was holding my rubber band, so I don't have to wear that now. And they changed out the attachment. So the little like tooth colored, I guess some people do call them buttons, but they're just the attachments that go on your teeth that kind of the Invisalign trays snap into, and those help kind of like rotate the teeth in ways that the trays by themselves can't. So they changed out my attachments, and now I have 4 on one side and 3 on the other, so a total of 7 this time, but they're super tiny. They're like really tiny compared to the original set of attachments that they put on. And something else that I found out just last week was my orthodontist sold her business to another orthodontist, so I am no longer seeing my old orthodontist because she retired, I guess, and I'm still going to the same place, didn't have to pay anything more, you know, none of the clients had to pay anything extra to, however they work it out between, you know, in the sale of it, I don't know. But yeah, I do have a new orthodontist, so I'm just really hoping that he is super skilled in working with Invisalign, so that way, you know, because that's why I originally picked the orthodontist that I went with. So I'm just really hoping that he knows exactly what he's doing. You know, I don't know, it's probably hard coming in midstream, but yeah. Anyway, so lots of changes there, and I don't know if that had anything to do with, you know, the amount of trays that I'm now in. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just kind of going with the flow, but that's all the updates. I just want to share that with you guys. Just some of the things that can happen, you know, during the treatment process, and so that's where I'm at. I almost forgot one other part of this is I was planning to have a crown replaced, and I saved up for that, and I was all like excited to be able to do that. And as it turns out, that's also being pushed back because I'm already in my Invisalign. You know, once they already scanned me, that was my window closed, you know, to be able to have any work done. So now I have to wait until after I finish these trays to be able to have my dentistry done, which is, you know, as long as the crown can stay holding on there, you know, that's all I'm hoping for. If it cracks or something, I'm gonna be in big trouble because it's an old one. I'll just have to, you know, keep limping this crown until I'm finally like done with these, you know, all 27 of them. All right, guys, so if you have any stories about your teeth, I would love to hear them down below. If you're thinking of getting braces or Invisalign, or if you're in them right now, I would love to hear like how it's going for you guys. Let me know in the comments below, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.